And we were already there. TOA is already there. We, from day one, from the moment we were founded, we had a vision that, we will not put anything on any device. Everything is going to be in the browser because ultimately it's going to be good for our customers and it's going to be good for, for their customers, and it's going to be, of course, good for us because it'll be easier for us to actually keep all our customers current and relevant in one, version of the app. So there's so much to talk about with HTML5. You and I probably could spend a whole hour just talking about that.
I imagine I'm writing a series every week. I write a series on HTML5 and its utility to mobile applications. So, yeah, I see all kinds of very interesting apps and an interesting future for HTML5. Now, you can read more about what Yuval has shared on HTML5 on their website, TOA, that's TOA, tech.com, toatech.com. Bottom left corner is visit our blog, and you can read more of his thoughts on there. Let me go to another question for you, Yuval. You have chosen for your business model to be a cloud computing-based vendor. Why is and what benefits do you see in that model for your customers?
From my point of view, there's only benefits. The cloud, in my view, addresses all the deficiencies of historical enterprise software, which is, long time to market, complicated implementations that are mostly customized in one-of. What I see in the cloud is really great opportunity to provide our customers and the world applications that are, number one, on a flexible platform that allows in huge degree of variances on the kind of things that customers want, and that is, specific types of capabilities that are related to their business, but within an environment that actually, at the end of the day, comes down to one code base and one version. So what we've built is a very, very flexible and configurable application that allows our customers to have different flavors of our application, but still in one version. And what that does is it keeps all of our customers moving together in one line, and never to be. I say it's like the cloud-based application and the ability and the fact that the vendor is moving his application forward into the next generation, into the next version every 6 months or 12 months, and moving all his customers to the next version. It's like a battlefield. You don't want to keep. You don't want to leave the wounded in the battlefield, right? This is a way of not leaving any wounded in the battlefield. We don't have any customers on version 2. We don't have any customers on version 3. All of our customers are already on version 4. And in that way we can actually share the both the innovation and the sort of the learnings that we have from our community across our customers and keep them all current. And that currentness has huge amount of value for the customers because they don't have to buy a new version of the application. They're always current. They're always in the latest version. They always use the most advanced aspects and features in our solution. That in and of itself is great and enormous value. The other aspects of it, they don't need to run it. They don't need to do anything to keep this thing alive and going. We guarantee the uptime. And we have an impeccable track record of uptime, and availability, better than any of the IT departments that we serve. And talking about IT departments, that's a call from one of the IT departments of my customers. Give me 2 secs.
Right. Awesome.
I'll call him right back. Anyway, so the bottom line is, it really does, help free the IT departments and the customers to focus on the core aspects of the business. Right. And I think that in that way, not deal with a lot of the things that are in a way distractions from focusing on the core business, whether it's you're providing cable services or you're providing delivery services or you're providing home healthcare services or any kind, or utility services or telco services or whatever it is that you're providing. The resources are spent on providing the service rather than providing the application to provide the service, and that's what we do. So that's a huge other aspect of really a real positive return on investment in both those cases for why I think cloud-based, that future readiness, as I call it, is goes across many aspects of what the solution actually does and why we've chosen it as a platform. And lastly, it's easier to actually implement. The way these systems have been architected has really fundamentally changed kind of the dialogue between us and our customers into a more collaborative environment, and really alleviated a lot of what I call the root canal that customers needed to take when they were going through an enterprise software deployment. And I don't have to tell you, you know it very well what that actually means. And so a lot of those things have been alleviated by the cloud and sort of both the architecture and the flexibility and the currentness of the application.
So did you start out building these solutions with mobility in mind, or did you first create all kinds of business processes for supporting back-end systems around scheduling and work orders, and mobility was an afterthought? Walk us through your evolution.
Well, first thing, we started off with trying to solve a very simple problem, which we called the cable guy problem, which was customers waiting at home for an appointment without knowing when the cable guy would arrive.
Right.
And we've all been there, right?
Yep.
We thought, why is it that in this world where everything's so connected, why is it that we're still waiting around 4 hours and sometimes a whole day for a cable guy to show up and not know where he is?
Right.
That was the question we asked ourselves, and from the answer, we built this whole company. And the answer was because those companies that actually manage mobile workforces did not focus on the right thing when they actually bought systems or created processes to manage their mobile employees. They looked at resources and availability and skills and location in order to use planning, but they missed only one little tiny thing. They forgot about time and time management. And the fact that somehow, there's a place where a customer is sitting at home waiting and needs to know when that person is going to arrive. So we built a system that actually looks to mediate, in effect, between the many people delivering service and the many customers waiting at home. And we immediately figured out if we could only measure how long it takes people to do work in the field and analyze the patterns that people actually have in doing work, we could use that to predict how long it takes them to do work and when they will actually arrive at a customer's home, and communicate to the customer and bring the customer into the loop of the appointment event and make them really a participant, because they are actually a participant in the process. And the minute we came to that conclusion, we said, well, we actually need to have a mobility application for people to report their work and for us to be able to track their performance patterns and be able to create those, based on their reporting, to create those patterns, to really actually identify and create those patterns. So we immediately came to the conclusion that we needed to have quite a robust mobile application in the field. And at the same time as we were doing that, my partner and co-founder, Irad Karmi, and I both came to the conclusion, and we'd been talking about this for years, that whatever we're going to do, it's not going to have a footprint on any device. It's going to be a mobile app in a browser, even in the times when there was not an HTML5 browser. When we started off, we were walking around with Nokia cell phones and a WAP browser,
right,
and telling the customers, look, it's in the phone. It's the phone. The phone is the future platform. And we're talking 2004 or 5.
Right.
And they were telling us, what? What are you talking about? And most of them didn't have BlackBerries, So we had this. We sort of wove in this notion that the mobile platform was going to be the central, information gathering and delivering, platform for our solution from day one, and that we, also, we at that time we were using Continental's WAP app. They had an application that it was a very simple WAP application that you could check your flight status and check in. And they were one of the first who actually kind of ported to mobile and put it on the web, and it was just text-based and text-driven. And we looked at that thing and said, wait a second, if they can do that, why can't we? And so we immediately kind of connected the dots and said, yeah, we can put this on a WAP application. It can become completely ubiquitous. It doesn't actually matter whether you're on a browser or you're on a desktop or you're using the most simple, non-sophisticated Nokia cell phone as it was before there were smartphones. So yeah, it was absolutely in the middle of our thinking and our focus from day one.
So it's really interesting. I'm writing a series right now on network-centric operations and the concept of managing the real-time enterprise with mobility. And you have just given a perfect case example of the benefit of always being connected, both for, as you put, actionable analytics and being able to have real-time visibility and to be able to change things in real time as well. And none of that's possible without mobile applications. And without
the web. You have to have real-time communications and the web to create that complete that perfect circle of communication.
Absolutely. And with that, Yuval, I want to thank you for your time.